the Bud List. Also a time where we read some viewer mail. A lot of times I'm reading YouTube comments, but this time, Christina went to the real post office. You got to say real letter that didn't even come in an envelope. Are you paying attention to the letter? What are you doing? You're writing a list of stuff.
I'm getting my Bud List stuff.
This is from a real fan.
I'm Budsman.
I'm prepping.
And I'm the one on
You're
vacation.
doing the intro. I'm prepping
You're
for my
on the
segment.
jib shot and you're just
He's so mad that I said you're beloved in Kansas City.
Dear Wilds, congratulations on your new phrase, razzle dazzle. Thank you. Didn't totally understand Brew's corresponding take on French pastry. Is that a thing? Thanks, Ryan and Brian. Yeah, no one really understood that, Brew. Is that like a phrase you want me to use during Weird and Wonderful for highlights or what?
Yeah, with the French pastry.
Why is that?
You have to say
Why
it in
do you
that
say
tone?
Sweet, yeah, like is that
Listen to the
beignet?
music.
That looks like beignet. Except where's the
those
sugar?
are croissants.
They also look.
Oh, those are
huge.
croissants?
Yeah.
When you look at it, those are 2 feet across. I don't know. This bit has really run its course.
They love Cowboy Brew out there.
I know, but then those baskets back there.
Somebody in
French
the
bakery?
this made
It's
me
a
feel
French
good.
bakery. That's
In
why I
New
said
Orleans,
croissant.
somebody saw me and said, "You know what, Brew, you're right. There is no gut." They did say that. They said that
Who would
right
say
there in
that?
Crazy Corner.
And they touched you?
No, he didn't tell you. He just looked and said, "You do look
Oh,
more
was
like
it
the
like a
muscular
family
cowboy."
member?
Not just like, hey, you do look more like
He did. He said, "Brew, you're right. No gut."
I believe
All right,
that.
do the Bud List.
I believe
let's
that.
get to it. At number 3, Patrick Mahomes. Now, here's the deal. Nick kind of alluded to this earlier. If 8 years ago, they would have told Patrick Mahomes, in your first 7 years as a starter, you'll win 3 Super Bowls, you'll be in 5, you'll have 2 MVPs, you'll play for the first three-peat in Super Bowl history, and you'll be in the GOAT conversation.
Pretty good.
You take that, all right? But in the moment, I get it. Right now, in the moment, right after a bad Super Bowl loss, it doesn't feel that way. I think you're taking more criticism than you've ever taken in your career, in my view. And some people even questioning whether you're the best quarterback in the league right now. Forget the GOAT conversation. Some people are throwing that away. So I say, Patrick, use this as fuel. This criticism can be good for you. And there's not a fiber of my being that thinks you relaxed or, didn't drive as hard as you always have, because I think you really have. But I am a proponent of the light show. I want the light show.
Yes.
All right. I want you to go out there and be the Patrick Mahomes you were your first year as a starter, the years you've won your MVPs. 40 touchdowns or more, close to 5,000 yards, if not that. I want you to reestablish yourself as the GOAT, the best of all time, en route to being the GOAT. Patrick, I believe in you. Use this as fuel. All right, at number 2, let's go to the NBA. Anthony Edwards. Congratulations, Ant, on averaging a career-high 27.5 points a game. 5th in the league. You are lighting it up. But you've reached this is only your 5th year. So you came out after 1 year. You are still young, but approaching that stage where it's like it's all about winning. And SGA is about your age. He's winning. Luka, about your age. He's done some winning. You have to start winning. All right, and I know it's not all on you. You play defense. You score. You're doing your thing. But that is what's going to take you to the next level, winning big-time basketball games. So what I'll say you need to do is get your teammates a little more involved and stop shooting so many threes. Yeah. Michael Jordan, who some people have compared you to, even Jordan said you remind him a little of yourself. He once said he didn't want to shoot that many three-pointers because it takes away from the rest of your game. And I think that's happened with Ant. Ant, you shoot 10 three-pointers a game. That is the 3rd most in the league. Now, he's a great three-point shooter, shooting 42%. So you shoot them well, but I like to see you attack the rim more. Use your athleticism. You should be dunking on people. You should be killing them in the mid-range. You should be getting in the paint and creating for yourself and others. That'll make your team better. Because remember, you won't always have that great athleticism. One day you'll have to shoot a ton of threes. So go ahead now and play the winning basketball, get your teammates involved, and diversify your offensive game. Anthony Edwards, I believe in you. All right, at number 1, Luka. Luka, look, I know your feelings are hurt. We can see it all over your face, in the days after the trade. It's probably the first time in your basketball life that someone has said, you're not good enough. And that's what the Mavericks said. Yeah. That's what even though everybody seems to think they're crazy, and I do too, they said you're not good enough. You're not going to lead them to championships. And so you have to go out there and prove them wrong and understand they did you a favor. At the end of the day, I know it hurts, but they did you a favor. They sent you to the glamour franchise of the NBA. They sent you to play with a guy who can teach you all you need to know about having a great work ethic, getting your conditioning together, defending, and paying attention on that end of the floor. That's LeBron James, of course. And look, LeBron also said this, don't fit in, fit out.
Yeah.
I would say a little bit of both because your game has been heliocentric, right? But that doesn't really win championships in the NBA. Ask James Harden. Heck, ask LeBron at times. Ask Jordan. Ask Russell Westbrook. The heliocentric style doesn't win. Now, you got to have a little bit of both. You need the ball in your hands. You need to play the point and get yourself your points and get your teammates their points. But you also do need to adjust, play more on the defensive end, communicate, be better on that end with effort, and learn how to move without the ball some. Don't just stand there at the top of the key or in the corner when you don't have the ball. You got to learn to do some of that as well and not be so heliocentric. Luka, I believe in you. You got to win in LA too. A player of your stature, all of them win at least one championship with the Lakers, and you need to win more than one. I'm just keeping it real. You need to win multiple rings in the purple and gold, and I do believe you can do it.
Okay. Great bud list as always.
A great bud list. Some of those highlights were rough.
Well,
motivation.
He's rusty.
Luka's rusty.
I was going to say, don't eat out, eat in. Heliocentric, you hit that too. I mean, God, it was fantastic.
We know you love the ball.
I mean, it was really good. And I was going to throw new catchphrases on the bud list, but I went to somewhere where I think is obvious, and that's the New York Giants. And to me, the 2024 New York Giants season was a tragedy of giant proportions, and it's as bad as it could possibly be. When you're on Hard Knocks and you tell the owner that you're gonna move on from Saquon Barkley and he's not gonna get the money, and Philly's not interested, and then he tells you he's not gonna be able to sleep, and then he goes to Philly and he has the season that he has.
Not great.
Okay, so that's just terrible. And then your son tells you probably draft Jaden, and that's on camera. That's terrible. And then you go into the season, and the guy that you paid, what was it, $160 million with 90 guaranteed, you have to cut midway through or a little bit later in the second season, and his dead money this season is only $2 million less than what Saquon got guaranteed from Philadelphia. So there's that, and then you go into the season, it's going terribly, but you get to week 17 and you hang 45 on the Colts and you lose the #1 draft pick. So that's not very good either. And now you're looking at this offseason and you've got this hole at quarterback, and you've got holes everywhere else, and your rival has won the Super Bowl, and another team in the division looks like they've got their quarterback of the future, and the Dallas Cowboys are guaranteeing that they're going to win the Super Bowl. So it's all bad, and this has got, I mean, it's a nightmare. It's even bad for Hard Knocks. They're thinking about kicking that Hard Knocks show off the air because of how damn bad
it is. The off-season Hard Knocks gone. Grand opening, grand closing.
And then look, it should be, because nobody's going to want to take part in that thing anymore. So I believe in Brian, and he's shown that he can coach, and we've seen massive transition from Washington. So here's your opportunity.
So what do you think they should do at quarterback?
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, because they're not in a great position necessarily to get one of the top guys. Maybe as they do their evaluations, there's a guy there that really makes sense to them. I mean, that can easily happen.
They're probably going to get Shedeur. Don't you guys think?
I mean, they may look.
Slipping a little.
It doesn't matter which name they get, as long as that they get the right one. And we've seen guys go high that don't work. But they're going to have to get a young one, and they're going to have to get somebody older to help nurture that player along. And the other thing that's disappointing is they don't even have the circus of Aaron Rodgers in New York to distract anybody from what's happening.
Maybe that's who should play quarterback for them, Coach.
I mean,
that
would. We may be having the same Bud list,
Yeah.
next offseason.
All right.
Anything you want to add, Brew?
No, I'm good. I'm good with that.
Wilds?
Well, it's time, whether you like it or not, for the Sports Media Ombudsman.
Ooh.
Thank you so much, Kevin Wilds. And this time, every Thursday, to
Separate
do
segments.
my part of the Bud list. It's again,
It's got its own intro and everything.
I don't know why Wild's always trying to drive a wedge between us. This is the best segment on the show. It's Brew's segment. I just try to add a little something to
Okay.
it. I'm not as motivational as Brew. I am a little more critical. So I scour the sports media and figure out what needs unbutting. And this week, it's something that is very near and dear to Brew and my hearts. Maybe more Brew and I than almost anyone else in the media.
Oh.
And that's list integrity.
Oh, yeah.
Sports media out there, we need some top 10 integrity. Because it's about to be, in the NFL, it's about to be top 5 quarterback season.
Oh, I like that.
And you're going to hear a dozen names. And people are going to swear they're top 5 quarterback. And you're like, hey, give me your list. They're like, well, I don't have a list, but this guy's got to be on it. You're like, what about him? And all of a sudden, quarter of the league's top 5, not 20-team league, doesn't make sense. And that reared its ugly head in the NBA history list. The last few days, Kevin Durant scores 30,000 points, and it's like he got a new pseudonym. Kevin Durant, top 10 all-time player. That's his name. Kevin Durant is top 10 all-time player, Kevin Durant. And not only, that's not a bad opinion. That's an unallowable opinion. Because it's an opinion I don't think anyone actually has, including the people saying it. Because here's the deal. No one saying Kevin Durant is a top 10 all-time player thinks Kevin Durant is better than LeBron, Kareem, Michael, Magic, Duncan, Kobe, Bird, Bill Russell, or Shaq. So we're at 9. So that means he's next. So for you to believe he's top 10 all-time player, is he better than Wilt? Well, maybe, okay, a long time ago, West, Oscar, them too. But he's better than Dream. What about Steph Curry? What about Nikola Jokic? Forget Dr. J, Moses, Isaiah, give him those already. Kevin Durant's better than every player. He's better than Hakeem Olajuwon. He's better than Steph Curry. He's better than Nikola Jokic. No, he's not. The thing is this, nothing against Kevin Durant. But he is far closer to the 20th greatest player of all time than the 10th greatest player of all time. Again, this is not actually about Kevin Durant. It's about words mattering. And it's about the flippant nature people will say, this guy's top 5, this guy's top 10, and not actually think they truly are. So just pick a number you can believe in. Nothing wrong with saying top 15. Nothing wrong with saying top 20. But if you're going to throw around top 10.
You can't do top 15.
Okay, then do top 20.
Got no
then do
juice.
top 20. But it does.
That's just, I would think that has less juice.
You know what would lose juice? Top 10. If you got 30 guys in it. And so, just again, guys, before you throw out top 10 or top 5, just a little pen to paper, be like, who is my top 10, top 5? That's all.
Yes.
Brew does it, I do it.
I totally agree.
I knew
totally
you would,
agree.
Brew.
And you know, I'm going to put it on the producers too, though.
Wow.
When a guy says he's top 10,
Be like,
or I'm going to say so-and-so's top 10.
Yeah.
Well, what's your top 10? What's your
Exactly
top 10?
right.
I'm so-and-so's top 5. What's your top 5?
where were you when we needed you, Himbo?
I mean, and that's right.
You want the producers to check everybody who puts the list together?
You know what? That's
They
what
may
Dusty
not
does
have-
to me.
Yeah.
That's how I became the broadcaster I am.
Thanks, Dusty.
I mean, somebody got to get in your ear. Well,
Yeah.
Then listen, name your top 10.
I knew he'd love it.
Name your top 10.
Yeah, Brew doesn't like
know
it.
I'm
either.
right.
But then you have a long conversation about Hakeem Olajuwon.
Everybody loves that.
Hakeem was better than Durant.
Thank
With
you,
all
bro.
due respect to Kevin Durant. Is he not?
100%.
2 championships.
Full wild.
Great, maybe the greatest defensive player ever.
100%.
We need
Not
to
the
see
greatest
the whole
defensive
list.
player ever.
Hakeem?
I'll take Wilt Chamberlain over.
Not
over
defensively.
No, not defensively. No,
I would.
Bill Russell.
No.
Or it's
Maybe
Bill
I'll take
Russell,
Bill
Hakeem, and
Russell,
Duncan.
Yeah. I'm going.
Now we're having a conversation about Bill
I
Russell.
think
You
top
did
10,
that.
just to push back on it.
You're
How?
pushing back
How
on me
you
on
pushing
Ombudsman?
back?
Yeah,
It's
fact.
straight math.
I understand.
So
it.
you like 25 guys being in the top 10?
I think it's a compliment. And if your daughter for Father's Day, wow, best dad ever.
That's a
Like,
feeling.
who actually is? Is that true?
No, that's not what it
Is this true?
That is not
See
what
some
it
good
is.
dads out there.
That's not
Dads
what
out
it
here
is.
saving people's lives.
That's not what it is.
It is.
If
It's a compliment.
My
Just top 10.
daughter's
Oh,
There's
job.
not a
Top
list
10.
of the best 10
Right.
dads
Top 10.
in the world.
If
can't
my
check other
daughter's
people's dads.
job.
World's best pizza. This
Was
guy
to-
busts in there. Is it?
No, that would.
World famous coffee. Let me see it. Let me
That's
see
not
the
that
receipts
is
on that.
wild. I'm not saying fans can't wear the T-shirt. I'm saying that for the world's best coffee, the Michelin Guide shouldn't be throwing that around willy-nilly. If your job is to,
Yeah, that's good, great point.
thank you.
Yours was funny.
How
His
was your night
actually
last night?
great.
How was your anniversary party? Oh man, all-time great night. Was it?
That's not what we're
I
talking
want to see them
about.
all. Give me a list.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm putting the Raptors. You know, a lot of people are like,
Raptors,
yeah,
man.
that's what you guys
This guy
get.
doesn't want
Be
to talk
careful what you
Olajuwon.
you know what?
Instead we'll talk
Yeah.
about the Raptors.
Oh, you don't talk about the Patriots, don't talk about the Celtics.
Right.
Fine. Be careful what you wish for. Let's dig on what's going on in Toronto. Where they played the Cavs. And they were winning. Or the Cavs were winning because the Cavs won their
blowing them
44th
out.
game. Cavs were playing great. Tristan Thompson, who it turns out is on the Cavs, catches a dunk at the end of the game. Ooh! Little curveball. Look at what's going on here. Tristan Thompson's fired up. The way this usually goes is, hey, you know, we play hard, we play to the final, buzzer. Tristan Thompson took it an extra level. Yeah. You want a full court press with under a minute left in the game? When you get cracked by 30, this will happen to you. Lose for draft lottery and be happy.
Buddy boy.
Yikes.
Buddy boy.
That's too much.
The Buddy Boy's a great one.
And that was directed at the coach.
Hopefully, you and most of the guys see the light at the end of Bobby and Masai's long-term plan. Bless up, stay warm in my city because Tristan Thompson is from nearby town outside of Toronto or a suburb of Toronto. So, Brew, did you have any issue with Tristan Thompson catching a dunk in Toronto?
No. First of all, and I didn't, surprise, I didn't watch this game.
Wow, bad.
did?
Come on, man.
But if they were pressing.
They were.
Okay.
So that's the part,
all
but
Not when he had the ball.
No, but he's saying with a minute.
Right, why are you pressing?
I
with a minute?
agree. I would have thought it was Bush League stat padding, except for that little fact. Now, the fact of the matter is this game might as well not have been on TV, so Tristan Thompson's tweet's all that I'm going on. But assuming they were pressing.
Right, if they're pressing. But you know what? My general rule, though, and I get a Bush League, my general rules is you're professionals. And if you don't like it, then stop him from dunking. And I don't mean do something dirty.
We were trying to press.
But you're getting paid. This is not CYO, it's not high school, AAU, whatever. You're getting paid, and this dude just went up for a dunk. Don't get beat by 30 if you don't like them scoring when they're up 30. I'm sorry.
That's the buzzer.
Especially when you press.
That's what I'm saying.
Great point.
See, now we're talking Raptors.
Top 10 Bud list ever.
I think it was.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.